Hi everyone, it's Mariah Russell with Healing the Betrayed Soul. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you today about is this idea of authenticity, being authentic, being who you are, and how this relates to connection and being connected. I'm finding there's a lot of people that I've been talking to that feel lost or confused or disconnected, or they're struggling in unhealthy relationships. And one of the things that I've really started to see is that all of this comes down to being our authentic selves, really owning who we are and being it. And if you don't know who you are, getting curious about that and then playing with that. And for me, I keep questioning, this is an ongoing process, it's an ongoing unfolding, stepping into your authenticity, stepping into who you are. And remembering, haters are going to hate, you're not going to please everybody, but the only person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life, every day and every moment, is yourself. And so if you're spending time hiding yourself and hiding who you really are because you're afraid that somebody's not going to like it, or it's not going to be accepted, or you're going against the status quo, and you're spending so much of your time and energy hiding yourself instead of connecting with others, instead of doing the work that you're here to do, instead of doing all of those amazing things that you could be doing with that time and energy. And I've been there, I've done that, and that was the thing that I found. I was just spending so much time saying, oh, well, who I am isn't in alignment with how the world wants me to be. So how do I live my life in a way that pleases others and align myself with their shoulds, instead of saying, who am I? What is my unique purpose, my unique gifts that I can bring to the world, and how can I bring those out in this way that shines and really brings a unique new perspective? Because at least my perspective is, we don't need more people doing what should be done. We don't need more people following the rules and doing it the way that we know how to do it, because that's the way we're going to make shifts and changes, is by having creativity, new ideas. And the only way that we're going to get that is when we say, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be the most perfect me that I can be, and not run away from it. And this is scary because, like I said before, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to agree with your choices. Not everyone is going to think that you're making the best decisions. And to keep making decisions because you're expected to, because other people tell you you should, because it's the status quo, isn't going to create new growth. And then the other thing that happens, or at least that I watched happen, was it was feeling very isolating, and I was feeling like I had a split personality. I had the personality of me who I was, that I wanted to be, that was pushing down and hiding and not letting out. And then I had the me that was being shown to the world. And then I always had to question, which me do I need to pull out today? Is this the me that my boss wants me to be? Is this the me that my mom wants me to be? Is this the me that, my lover wants me to be? Or is this the me who I am? And having to go back and forth between those, one, made me feel a little crazy, but two, it took up all of my time. And I didn't have the ability to do creative things in the rest of the world as much, because it was continually saying, which me do I want to present today? Instead of saying, authentically, this is who I am. And if you like who I am, that's amazing. Let's play together. And if not, that's okay too. Thank you for being honest with what you want and how we fit together. And then finding the person or people that you want to work with. And so by lying to myself about who I was, also forced me essentially to be lying to the rest of the world, because I wasn't showing up who I was. And so there was this ongoing struggle of, no one being quite happy. Everybody was slightly miserable, and nobody was fully in alignment with our truth. And, we hide from our truth. We hide from our authenticity out of fear. Well, I'm afraid if I show up the way I really am, then I'm not going to get the job. I'm afraid if I say this thing that I believe or I love or who I am on that date, I won't have a second date. I'm afraid if I wear this thing, people are going to think this thing of me and they're not going to like me. And it's all about this fear. But the thing is, when I learn to step into myself and say, this is who I am unapologetically, and just say, this is who I am, welcome world, and here I am, then I was able to really focus on, well, the only person that really matters, that loves me, is myself. And so the self-love brought out the authenticity. And then when the authenticity and the self-love were combined, then I could show up to the world saying, this is who I am and this is what I have to offer. Like it, or I'll go somewhere there where it's more appreciated. Because it's all about, if I can show up and be appreciated for what I am, then that's where this true authenticity really comes through and the work can be done. It's this idea of working with the willing. And that's one of the big things that I've dealt with in business is, I want to work with people that want to work with me, that love working with me in all aspects of my life. And so if I'm showing up authentically, then the people that I want to work with show up. If I'm showing up authentically, then I'm working in a cooperative way with my community, with my partners, with my family, with everyone, and we're able to create these amazing things rather than spending all of this time fighting. Oh, well, you're not in alignment, so here, let's fight to get in alignment. No. Showing up authentically and being really honest about who I am, my values, my visions, my goals, what I come with, then going through that authentically, it means we don't have to go through this phase of getting things to alignment because it was already in alignment, which means the work can begin now versus having to do all of this other work. And this is really, really important in relationships that I've found, because often we have these parts of ourselves that we don't love, that we hide, our shame. I talk about shame a lot because it's huge, right? And so we are hiding our shame. It's creating our personality. It's changing our relationships, but we're hiding it from ourselves. And so since we're lying to ourselves, we're now lying to our partners, which makes it really hard to have an authentic, healthy, true relationship because we're not on the same level and we're not really having that communication because there's this underlying fear of, they'll discover my shame. They'll find me out. What if they learn that thing about me that I don't want anyone to know? And so, and often we're doing this subconsciously. And so how do we step into our authenticity is bringing these shameful things, these hard things, these conversations nobody wants to have, bring it to the surface, own it, claim it. And don't use it as a victim, don't use it as an excuse, but just, this is who I am, this is my past, this is my story. And okay, we're clear, we've communicated, and we can move on from there. And now you can have this healthy relationship that's based on trust and communication and truth. Because until you are really honest and truthful with yourself, you're inherently lying to yourself, and so you're inherently lying in all of your relationships. And so it's just this amazing thing that I've been watching. And then the other thing is we feel isolated and lonely because, well, who I truly am isn't being loved and appreciated by others, but then I'm not showing who I truly am because I'm afraid. Or I'm not showing who I truly am because I don't like it or I don't love it myself. So if I don't love myself, how can I ever expect somebody else to love me? If I don't like myself, how can I expect somebody else to like me? And so then we feel lonely, we feel detached, and now instead of going inward, which is what I've found has been the solution for my life, instead of going inward and saying, where's my shame? How can I address that? How can I look at that? We end up going outward and we turn to distractions, we turn to screens, we turn to, I love sugar, we turn to whatever it is that we turn to get that comfort, when that's only gonna be a temporary comfort. But if we go back inward and we look at this truthfulness and this authenticity and this self-love, that's when that's the love that's gonna keep on giving and keep on flowing. And that's the love that's always gonna be with us, hell or high water, always. And when we have that, we can connect from this heart space to another heart space without the filter of, I'm afraid of connecting to your heart space because I'm afraid of being found out. I'm afraid of you finding these things out about me, instead of showing up authentically. And so it's just been a really, really huge lesson for me. And so I just want to encourage everybody to just really look at, how do you show up and how are you afraid of showing up? What parts of you are you afraid to let out because you're afraid of judgment, because you're afraid of other people not appreciating you, not approving of you. Because honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if other people approve of you. It matters that you approve of you. It matters that you love yourself. And so just look into yourself and say, where is it that I want to show up, and how do I want to show up, and how do I want to shine? And I'm not doing this because I'm afraid. I'm not doing this because I need external validation, because I'm lacking my own internal validation. And for me, when I really started to look at how can I find that internal validation, that internal self-love, it completely changed my life, and it changed my ability and way in which I started to relate with others and was able to really show up authentically. It made me not feel lonely, because I was never lonely. I always at least had one person that loved me. I always loved myself. And then all of the other people that I was able to relate with from this really deep heart space that I found only was able to come from this level of self-love. And so play around with that and have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.